Hi guys, back again for another overnight in the forest at an undisclosed location. Definitely heard something that time. I was contacted by a guy from my channel, asked us if anything unusual goes on when I go camping. Do I hear anything, any strange noises or see anything? And to be honest with you, I mean, I hear, the odd, noise through the night, foxes, badgers, that sort of thing, trees creaking, but nothing out of the ordinary. But I got talking to him, and he says he knows somewhere where he goes and he hears a lot of strange things going on. Something or someone comes up to his camp through the night. It's happened on more than one occasion, throwing pine cones and sticks at him, making strange chattering noises. Can you guess where I'm going with this one, guys? I mean, I'm a believer in something wandering around in the woods in in America, the Pacific Northwest, the Rockies, that sort of thing. I think America's got the habitat for, an unusual ape or hominid, whatever you want to call it, Bigfoot. Didn't really want to use that word. I mean, I believe because there's a lot of evidence, there is something that everybody can't be lying, everybody can't be mistaken. And apparently the evidence is so good that, or overwhelming, that the Finding Bigfoot team come over and interviewed the guy. I put a link at the bottom of the video, so if you want to contact them, if you have any information or if you've got any sightings of your own. And apparently they came over and interviewed him, and they did like a reenactment of the area and that. And I'm at an undisclosed location here, kindly given by Neil, who is the guy I'm talking about. Some of the evidence out he was telling us about was footprints, sticks poked into the ground, like could be people doing that, but he's found like stick structures, like what some people would call a nest, and there was even a dead sheep, which to find a dead sheep in the woods, there is sheep, but they're quite away from here, and we'd have to get over the fence, we'd have to wander into the forest quite a distance. So is it possible? Could the sheep have wandered in and died? Or was it sort of like killed and dragged here? In the trees there, it is so dense. You look if you can see 20 yards in front of you. But you've got these openings here, these tracks, where you can fire breaks, or I think they're called. Occasionally you will, and I've actually seen the photograph. Neil showed us it. He's actually showed us a photograph of something, and it doesn't look like a human, and it could actually be in shadow, but where it was, this figure was standing in an area where it was quite lit, it was quite bright, so it was all one colour. It wasn't like, how would I say, it was either dark shadow or it was a dark suit. But it's I don't know if it's took on a cell phone or what, but it's quite, it's quite blurry, but people are seeing things, so could it be something living here that we don't know about? I mean, I am sceptical, I have to admit. And like I said before, I mean, I think these things do exist in places like, the Rockies and Pacific Northwest, the Florida skunk ape, that sort of thing, the Yeti, the Yowie. We live in the niche areas of the world, and perhaps when mankind spread out, these other humans which coexist with us, I mean, thousands of years ago, we're still living next to Neanderthals, and there was a time in our prehistory where a lot of different branches of humanity were living together, different offshoots of humanity living side by side. So is it still possible that, a creature, a bipedal hominid, ape, whatever you want to call them, is actually still coexisting with us, but being pushed into the more remote areas to get away from us, because you know they can't compete with us for whatever reason. So today it's not an exciting video in the sense that, you know, I'm in a beautiful location where, you know, you've got fantastic scenery because you can only see so many yards in front of us. But it's a little bit different, it's a bit of a twist. So, I mean, my wild camping videos, you know, you don't have to do the same thing every time. So, maybe I need to do less talking and more watching, because apparently it's best to move little and look more, and then you might see something. Could that have been pushed over? You know, there's not much wind when you're right in the middle of these trees. You know, it's a small tree. It's very unlikely to be being blown over by the wind. Very unusual, that, like. I mean, for a human to push that over, going off the thickness of that. Size of my hand. Quite thick, so for a person to push that over, you know, would take some force. As you can see, they've been snapped, haven't they? They've been cut clean. Very unusual. Still keeping an open mind. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? I'm still a skeptic, but I'm not going to throw away the, you know, the possibility that they don't exist. Because you never know. Walk for miles in this woodland, and I've got some gear hidden over there, and I wander too far, I'm going to lose me rest of me bags, because I've got a surprise for you later, guys. Something different. It's not usually me, not in the forest anyway. Have to wait and see, wait and find out. There's another tree down over there. See? That could be just people breaking those. That's unusual, that, mind. All them sticks at an angle there. That one's broken. It's very strange, that, like. They all seem to come at the one point, don't they? Or roughly the same point. How they all seem to wedge more or less in the same place, as if they were put there. I mean, the wind couldn't have, I don't think, I mean, I'm no expert, but I mean, the wind surely wouldn't do that. You know, it is possible that people have done that, mind. So, you know, that is one possibility. I'm sitting under it, and it looks like, you know, when the saplings were broken, they were all broken and then pushed towards a central point up there, because some go that way. And there's a one coming down from this way. So it's like could it have been used as a shelter? You know, at one time, could it have, you know, covered with something, you know, to keep out the cold or whatever, shelter from the elements. The Patterson Gimlin film, you just got to look at that. I mean, people think straight away, it's a man in a suit, but that's the only frame of reference people have, because when they don't normally see a bipedal hominid or ape every day, but people see men in monkey suits, so that's what people automatically think in their mind, it's a man in a suit. But when you actually look at the evidence, and the film is so good, it's actually excellent quality for the time anyway. I mean, MK Davis, he's done some excellent analysis, so I would check him out on YouTube. It's just the muscles, you can see the muscles moving. And why hasn't anybody come forward with the suit? You know what I mean? Because they could make millions from interviews and talk shows and all that. You know, if they just came forward with see, there was no CGI in them days. So whoever had this knowledge of creating a suit, you know, could have made a fortune working for Hollywood or whatever. And I mean, it's not just that, it's the proportions of the limbs. You just, the knee bend, you know, the length of the, you know, the length of the arms and that, the forearms of the whatever, but the proportions of the anatomy is just totally different to humans. And I mean, who would go through all that trouble of just putting breasts on a suit? And everything moves, you know, the muscle movements and everything. It's definitely real, that, like. But whether they exist in this country or not, I am sceptical, but you know, it's possible people are seeing, you know, deer jump across the road, or if a deer runs through the woods and you see a flash and it's getting dark, you know, people can be mistaken. They're not necessarily lying, you know, they can be mistaken for things. You know, we don't have bears in this country, but we do have other animals, and things do make noises in the night, but animals don't throw pine cones and, you know, sticks at people's tents, you know. Well, I found something unusual, like that tree has been just snapped from about, let's have a look here. See that? And that's a lot taller than me, that. I'm 5'6", and that might give you a better idea. Moving the camera a bit closer, my hand's fully stretched out. It was about 6 foot. And that's another 2 or 3 foot above that. So it was about 8 to 9 foot. I would say that's about 9 foot, that. Well, what do you reckon, guys? Is that more evidence, or is it just the wind? Yeah, you would have to be fairly tall to do that, I mean. And it's not just that, it's the thickness of it. I mean, that's my hand on the tree there. It's probably about 10 inches wide, that. But it does get thinner the further up you go, but not much, mind. And that's as far as I can reach. I'm 5'6", so I can reach, you know, maybe it's about 6.5 foot. So 6.5 foot up to that, and then it breaks off. I mean, I've only wandered about a mile into this forest here, and I've already found strange things, unusual things. Even what would have been further up the tree, I'll put my hand on that. That has got a good girth on it. I mean, no human could even snap a tree that thin. And I reckon as well, you know, where it's snapped is significant, because I'll just show you, right? That's been snapped at an angle going down there. There's a bit of a path there. Now the path goes that direction. About I don't know, maybe a mile or so, you know, to the car. Now, this track looks like it's been walked. Could this be a warning? You know, like a marking of territory, as if to say, like, keep out, or, you know, this is our territory perhaps, I don't know. But I've seen this sort of thing before. Strange that, like, but I get some pictures. And there you can see the tree break right next to the path, and that path takes you further into the forest. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Is it significant, the fact that it's been broken there? Has the wind done that? No human has done that. Has it, you know, it's not like the tree was rotten or anything. It's either been the wind or something with a lot of strength has pushed that over. And it just seems strange that it's right next to the path where people would be coming in. Right, a quick look at my setup. So all I've done is I've run a ridge line from that tree along there to that tree. They're a fair distance apart, like, and this is a bit of a path, and no doubt later on I'll be walking backwards and forwards, and I don't want to cause any accidents. So easy to walk into, walk into things when because you can't really see it. So I've just put that little bit of white cordage here just so it's an indicator that the ridge line's in the way. You don't want to get grotted in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's not a bad area. It's reasonably flat, and I'm not far from that broken tree I was showing you earlier. And I'm trying a different sleeping bag tonight. It's not my usual downfill sleeping bag. This is just like a cheap Tesco summer 2-season sleeping bag. This like microlight mummy's sleeping bag, and it's good to down to 12 degrees, which is about the temperature it's forecast to go down tonight. I'm back at that broken tree again, and you're going to think I'm crackers, I'm going to leave something for them, for my forest friends, if they exist. Some ready to eat peaches. Lovely and soft and juicy. I might have one, and I'm going to place the other 3 on that tree somewhere as an offering. I'm going to get some stick for this. Very soft and juicy. They were juiced as well, half price, so I knew they were ripe. So there it is, my offering to the creatures who inhabit this forest. That's if they do exist. And I'm just down there. You never know, I might hear something in the night. I'm going to have a really good night. Brought a few tinnies. And something extra as well. Something I don't normally do, actually drinking in the woods. But I'm not drinking a great deal, and something I love to do when I'm having a drink. I'll show you. The only thing that's missing is a bit of music, a few tinnies, a few woodland sounds. Bring it on. And now I need locking up, don't I? Oh dear me. Something I don't normally do, actually. Bring my guitar out in the woods. But I thought, ideal opportunity, do something different, make a few sounds, see what happens. And to be honest with you, with me, it's like, play my guitar in a few jars, a few drinks, a few cans, that's what it's all about for me, like. Tinder I've got today, birch bark. It's a really thin stuff. It's like paper, dead thin. Now you cut that into fine strips, and that goes up with a ferro rod, no problem, just on its own. Good stuff that, like. And I've got some cattails. And what I did, this is a flash tinder, this, they'll go up no problem on its own. But I dip them. I've got another one here, it's easier to show. I just dip them in wax because I made some buddy burners, and it just gives that little, like a bit of a crust on it. So that'll go up no problem, and the little bit of wax on the outside, it'll give it an increased burn time. So I would only really use something like this if it was you know, under difficult conditions I couldn't get a fire going. But I might actually try this just to see how it goes, you know, because I've never tried it before. It was just an experiment, really. Actually, the birch bark went up before the cattail, so I don't know what happened there, like. Birch bark's always a winner, like. This is where it's at, guys. This is what it's all about. Enjoying the great outdoors. Nothing like it, eh? Get off your PlayStations, get off your computers and get off your PlayStations and come and do a bit of wild camping. You won't regret it. I know a couple of tunes I might just strum along later. A little bit of finger picking, you never know. Any requests, guys, and I'll be happy to oblige. Be getting dark in a couple of hours. What a place, eh? It's a lovely place as long as you don't let your imagination play, you know, run wild. And I'll get some water for me mash, get it on the flame, get it warmed up. Got a different setup today. It's not the usual Crusader mug like, but it fits into me backpack, one of the side pockets, exactly the same. It's a little bit bigger actually than my Crusader mug, and I can get a couple more. Well, I'll show you in a minute. It actually comes as a nest of 2 pots and 2 lids, which are basically like cups or pans. I'll show you. So what that is, I've got I've left the smaller pot which nests inside. I left that at home, and I've brought the 2 lids, which basically one's a cup and I use the other one as a plate. That's the thing, isn't it? You turn your back for a couple of minutes and they start spitting. Something else I should bring as well. I should bring some gloves because they're hot, like. Maybe set them cool for a little while. And what I've done with this, I've modified it slightly. I've put some brake cable off a bicycle, drill a couple of holes either side, and this is off you know, the chocolate blocks electrical connectors, them chocolate blocks. Cut the plastic away and get a couple of the brass connectors and just connect the wire cable to the end of them. After you drill your holes, push them through and you've got a nice little handle. Chops is nearly done. Sausages are there. Just a case of get the old mash in and bangers and mash and chops, and maybe have a little bit of a sing-song later, guys. What do you think? You know what makes sense. Wild camping. on the boil there now. Great idea that, guys. The bale arm is there. It's not even hot. That's lovely, that. It's just getting dark, you know. It's coming up like I just can't really see it. Last thing you want is too much salt. Again, bit of salt and pepper. Great idea, that. Bit of butter there in a shot glass. See if I can squeeze in. I don't need all the butter in, actually. There it goes. And the mash, which has just gone all over down my leg. Damn. It's a little bit difficult when you're trying to do Damien's woodland kitchen and film at the same time, you know. It's that pine needle or something. Yeah, right. Can't even see your name. Right, that. And the chops look a bit chop-tastic to me. Just about done them. So we've got mash, got sausages, and we've got chops. Very nice. And mash, I'll do my leg. I think it'd been snowing. Never mind. Leave no trace there. Been out there, left in the morning, I guarantee it. And a tinny of pear cider. Absolutely beautiful. And that little dish could be for the friends of the forest, should I say, or creatures of the forest. There you go, guys. Cheers. Beautiful. So what is it, guys? Am I here in the real world, or am I camped out on the edge of reality? You decide. Just as well I put that there, isn't it? Good idea. Another offering to the creatures of the forest. Yeah, peaches are still there. A chop. I mean, I believe this is like symbolic. You know, for whatever reason, a warning or a mark of territory or whatever. It's symbolic, but this is symbolic as well. I know there'll be some of you out there that think I'm stark raving bonkers, but that's how it goes, you know. They reckon there's only a thin divide line between genius and madness, and I walk that tightrope. And I stray from one to the other every now and again. Madness, genius, oh dear. They're gonna come and take me away soon. The men in white coats. Looks like the chimps have had a tea party, doesn't it? Oh dear. That's me set up again, lads. Are you ready for a sing-song? You know what time it is now, don't you? Just a quick report here. I'm lying in me under my top, not in my bivvy or anything yet, like just lying in the top. And you can see that. Never heard any noises or anything. I did a few whoops myself, and I did a few tree knocks, and you know, I haven't heard anything. The night is still young. It's just gone 10 o'clock. It's like I found a new level. It's like I'm in my element, totally loving it. This is what it's all about, you know what I mean? Just being out in the woods and in the middle of nowhere in an undisclosed location. Never heard any sounds yet. Like I'm played me heart out on the guitar. I turned it off, you know, my camera, and I was singing as well. I'm a shite singer, but if you're watching this now, it's obviously been uploaded to YouTube. But if you're not watching this now, it means I'm not here. That didn't make much sense, did it? Never mind. I'm a full of shit, guys. Squeal like a pig, boy. Wee! Ow! Whoop! Whoop! I'm waffling. Good night. And I'll probably see you in the morning. You never know. I might just be a hologram. Tatted shite again, aren't I? This is the fell wanderer switching off. Good night, and I'll catch you tomorrow. And a 2-pint piss spot. Good night. Morning. Well, I had a good sleep. Although when it was starting to get late, I did wake up and I was a little bit slight chilling effect. But I was using that micro mummy sleeping bag, which is only, you know, good to go down to 12 degrees, and it was roughly about that last night. So that's its limit. So it's only a summer bag, like, and, but apart from that, I've had a really good sleep. Didn't hear any strange noises or anything last night, to be honest with you. I could hear noises in the distance, but I mean, it could have been sheep or anything just very, very faint noises, but nothing I could really put my finger on, and nothing out of the ordinary. But yeah, this place is a really, really interesting place. Like, I would definitely come back here again, but maybe just go a bit farther in. We'll go and check out those peaches and sausages I left last night, see if they've been taken or not. Yeah, still there. Oh well, I suppose the birds will get them, and you know, they're not going to waste it because the other animals will get them. I wonder if it was my guitar playing last night that put them off. You know, scared them off, sent them running to the hills. I'll never know. But I tried something different. I know when I'm at home I have to go play in the shade because it cheeses a lot of people off. Oh dear me. So what I'll do now is I'll just tidy everything up, put my gear away, maybe just sit around and maybe just have a cup of coffee or something and just enjoy the sounds of the forest. And maybe I'll see you in the next one. And always remember to leave no trace.